Okay, so it was the end of 2012, and I had just had a baby. I think she was 4 months old at the time. And so it was right before New Year's Eve, and I was following, I think Instagram was like just kind of kicking off at the time. And I had followed this girl that was posting vegan, like raw vegan desserts. And I was like really intrigued by it because I didn't really know anything about it, and it kind of like sounded really healthy. So I sent her a DM and asking her about more about that diet. And I wasn't really interested in going vegan at the time. I just was kind of interested in like doing a New Year's resolution for the new year coming up. Like I was like, oh, okay, maybe I could do like a 30-day raw vegan diet. And so she sent me some like books that I should read. Like she thinks she recommended I read the 80-10-10 diet, and and then she also recommended some like raw vegan cookbooks for me. So I ordered the book, I read the book, and I remember like New Year's Eve, I ate a hamburger, and I was thinking like, all right, it's gonna be my last hamburger for a long time, but I really never like thought it was gonna be my last hamburger. So anyway, I started eating a raw vegan diet, and then I kind of like communicated back and forth with her for a while. Like she was kind of like my coach, because I didn't know anything about veganism, and so she recommended the like really good vegan documentaries. So I mean, I watched like I made a list. Like I watched Food Inc., Forks Over Knives, Educated, Food Matters, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, Cowspiracy, and then she recommended I watch a video by Gary Yourofsky, which was like the best speech you'll ever hear. Yeah. And my husband at the time, like he wasn't interested in going vegan, but he watched all the documentaries with me. So I kind of like, I felt like I brainwashed him into going vegan too. Because I remember one day he was like eating a salami sandwich, and then he like couldn't eat it, and he kind of looked at me and was like, well, I guess I'm going vegan too. So we went vegan pretty much cold turkey. Like overnight, we didn't eat any more animal products. I think my husband ate fish for like 6 months. And I was like strict 80-10-10. I actually made a separate Instagram account just to promote veganism and raw veganism, and I felt really good. I got super skinny though, and my husband got really skinny, and that was like our only. I was still breastfeeding at the time, and I remember like I had to eat so many calories to feel satisfied. I think I was eating like 3,000 to 4,000 calories of fruit a day. And my husband, like, he wasn't eating 80-10-10, and he was eating like cooked vegan food, but I remember like being told that he shouldn't like eat cooked food because it's not good for him, and if he did eat cooked food, to make sure like he ate the raw food first because of like food combinations, and it was just like so much information that we had no idea what we were getting into, but we both were really into the vegan lifestyle. So really we went vegan for our health, not for the animals, but I think that was just like a bonus for us. Like we kind of like felt good about not killing any animals and not supporting factory farming and all that. So we were living in Maui at that time, and then we moved back to California. I think like 6 months after we started eating vegan, and then we felt fine. We were just really skinny and cold all the time. That was like one of my husband's biggest complaints. I think he would like go to work and he had to keep gloves in his car. And we lived in San Diego, so that's pretty crazy that you have to wear gloves. So I would say like a year into being vegan was when we started having like little symptoms. My skin, I remember like my forehead, like all these little bumps on my forehead, and I just thought, oh, it's detoxing, and you know, my skin's gonna get better. And I never ever in my life had skin problems, so that was like, I was really like self-conscious about it, but I just dealt with it. I I guess it was like maybe a year and a half after we were vegan. I woke up one morning and I literally could not get out of bed. Like my neck was it was just, I had no muscle strength in my neck, and like I would have to like hold my head up like to get out of bed, and I would scream like so loud. I remember it was really terrifying actually, because I didn't know what was wrong and why that happened, and because I didn't get hurt, like I wasn't in a car accident or anything. And it was actually on my birthday, so I remember my husband like had to like literally like lift me out of bed to go to the bathroom, and every time I had to lay back down, it was like excruciating pain in my neck. So I went to a chiropractor, and I never really thought it could be like veganism. I just thought like what happened to my neck, and just started seeing the chiropractor regularly. Like every week I'd go to the chiropractor, and he didn't know why it happened either. Like he was just like stumped, but he kept asking me like if I ever injured my neck. And I was 30, maybe like 35 at the time. I'm 39 now. So the only time I ever hurt my neck was when I was 21, and I like was in a rafting like boating incident, but I never went to the doctor or felt the need to go back then. But I was 21, so I was like, well, why would, he kind of said like it was probably from that, but that was 14 years after, so it didn't really make any sense to me. But of course I thought, oh, that must be it, you know. I never would have thought it was like because I was vegan. But the pain in my neck never went away like completely. I always had like a really fragile neck my entire like rest of being vegan. I like one time I sneezed and my neck went out, and another time like I don't know, just like little things would happen and my neck would go out. So I always had like a really fragile neck, and I remember saying like I feel like I'm 90 like so many times. I felt like I was 90, like joint pain, and anyway, we so maybe like 2.5 years into veganism, that's when we started noticing like more health problems. My husband, he kept complaining that he had really bad brain fog. He was always super tired, and he's a tattooer, so he would be tattooing and just like have no energy to work. He would get really sick and be in bed for like one time I think he was in bed for like 2 weeks straight. He had really bad brain fog. He had mouth sores like that wouldn't heal. I remember like he always had sores and cracked lips like right in the corners. He had like loss of strength, and I remember thinking like, oh, maybe we just need to like add something to our diet. Or I never really thought it was veganism. I just thought like maybe we needed another supplement, or maybe we're not eating enough greens, or maybe you know, I just like kept thinking like what could I change in our diet to make him feel better. I felt okay like myself, but I did have days occasionally where I had no energy. And I just kind of just thought I was just having a bad day or something. My daughters, both of my daughters were vegan also. We fed them a vegan diet. And I still actually was breastfeeding my daughter, my youngest. So I think she was breastfed for like the first 4 years of her life. But when she was 3, she started having like weird, she would throw up in the middle of the night. And I kind of was thinking, I would write down everything she ate because I thought maybe she had a food allergy, but it wasn't consistent enough for me to like track. And she often had diarrhea, which was another thing. My husband had really bad diarrhea, like stomach pains, bloating. That was always a pretty common issue throughout our days being vegan.
I'm wondering about the breastfeeding. This is something that I'm curious about. Is it instinct to breastfeed the children longer when you're vegan, or what is it? Because most vegans try to breastfeed very long, so I'm just wondering.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Like my first daughter, I only breastfed for a year. And then with Penny, I think like I never planned to breastfeed her for that long. But I think because like I was surrounded by so many like vegan influencers, and they all promoted like extended breastfeeding and baby wearing, like they don't use a stroller, they carry their baby in their pouch, and I thought, yeah, that's like so lovely, like it's like so bonding with your baby, and it seemed natural to me, like, to let her wean when she was ready. I didn't breastfeed her like all day long when she was 3 or 4. It was more at night and in the morning. But I think maybe subconsciously I knew it was healthy for her, and so I just kept giving it to her. But I guess she currently has still really bad digestion problems, and I think it has a lot to do with the vegan diet. We had to take her to get tested for celiacs because, at one point she had diarrhea for 16 days straight, just water. Yeah. And she would vomit, like occasionally at night. And so I thought that, maybe she has celiacs. I still didn't know what it was, and she didn't test positive for celiac. So I think that I just fucked up her digestion. She's doing a lot better now though, but I'm still trying to figure it all out. Both of their teeth, my oldest daughter was 4 when I went vegan, so she's 9 now. And they both have really bad tooth decay, like especially on the canines, like right at the top and the front, all in the back molars are like totally like hollowed out.
Yeah.
And they're baby teeth, but still like gives me like really bad anxiety when I deal with that because I feel guilty. I brush their teeth and I floss their teeth, so I know a lot of like people like to say like it's because I didn't brush their teeth, but it's just kind of weird because I have a son also, and he wasn't raised vegan, and he has really good teeth, so I don't know. I know genetics can play a role also, but it's crazy. So anyway, we knew we weren't healthy, but we didn't connect the dots to veganism that time yet. So we went to the doctor. We went to go see like a naturopath doctor and get our blood work done. And around the same time, like this was all happening, I got an email from another vegan mom who was promoting veganism on her Instagram, and she was reached out to by another mom who was influenced to go vegan and saying that her daughter was deficient in some vitamins, and she kind of like was asking me like, where do you get your K2? I remember that was like the one thing she kept asking me, like, where do you get your K2? And she wasn't being rude about it, but I kind of got really defensive, like, and I was like, leave me alone, like, we're fine, we're healthy, like, you don't need to try to, like, get me to eat meat. If you want to eat meat, eat meat. And then, but I think it kind of, like, clicked in my head, like, she planted a seed in my head, and I realized, like, well, fuck, like, maybe I don't know like where we get our K2, and it was like she kept saying K2 and K4, which is like from animals, and that vegans can only get it if they eat like natto or something, or like the fermented soybeans.
Yeah, that's a
And we didn't.
different kind of K2. Still, you would still have to convert it to the animal version, so you still can get it. And there's absolutely no proof that we can convert it, so it's just a belief that it's possible.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, well, vegans think that they can get it from spirulina too. So I wasn't sold on it. I just like something clicked in my head from her telling me that, and this was all coincidentally at the same time that we were getting our blood work done and not feeling our best. And the doctor recommended that my husband start eating eggs at least, because my husband was not doing good. Like he thought he was dying. I remember the doctor asking him like if he drank alcohol, and he doesn't drink because his liver was so fucked up, and she like couldn't believe that he didn't drink any alcohol.
Wow.
So I remember I was so brainwashed. We remember saying, "What does she know? She's not vegan." Like, but this fat doctor know. And now, I mean, I can laugh about it, but it's just that it just takes over your mind, you know, like you just think like veganism is the holy grail, everything like.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we went vegan in 2013, New Year's Day 2013, I went vegan, and then it was at the end of 2016, started 2017, where we like decided, all right, something's got to change. Like, we aren't healthy. We'll start eating eggs again. And so we did. We started eating eggs and like some fish and chicken. It was really hard for me mentally because I felt really lost, and I felt like I had to like unlearn everything that I had learned and given into the vegan movement. And I felt ashamed and guilty, and I felt scared to tell like my vegan friends I wasn't vegan anymore. But I didn't say anything on Instagram. Like, I just kind of like stopped posting about veganism. But a lot of people still assumed that I was still vegan. And then, yeah, so it's been almost 2 years that we haven't been vegan, or like a year and a half, and I'm still, I guess, like, I just found your channel like a few months ago because you made a video about one of my friends that's vegan, and they were telling me about the video, so I like wanted to see it. And like right away I just felt like, damn, like, he's right. I just really, like, everything that you said just like resonated with me, and I started watching your ex-vegan interviews, and I just was like mind blown at all the health issues just seem like so similar to what me and my husband and our kids experienced, that I just knew like we're making the right choice by not supporting the movement and by eating meat again. And so it's been a weird process to not be vegan anymore, you know, because it's like you're brainwashed, you know, and you don't know who to trust. You don't know what's healthy. You don't know what's not healthy. And as a parent, it's really hard because I don't care about animals. I care about my kids, you know, like they come first, and if I have to eat animals, I'll eat them. But I was shamed a lot and guilted, and I just now, like maybe like a week ago, came out on Instagram that I wasn't vegan anymore, and pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
What did they say?
they're trying to slaughter me.
Yeah.
Oh, that I should be ashamed of myself, that I'm giving my kids cancer, um, that it's just an excuse to eat animals again, that I didn't do it right. Like that was like the most common one. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't do it right.
sure.
I fucking did it right. Like I ate. Oh my god, I ate. We ate really good, and we tried to avoid like all the fake meats, but we did eat them. It's just crazy the mentality of that these people have, right? And it actually makes me disgusted that I ever had that mentality, and thankful that I'm not there anymore. It's just such a dark side of that movement, and it grosses me out. Um,
Were you also big into supplements?
oh yeah, I wrote down all the supplements that we took.
Sure, yeah.
We took vitamin D, we took vitamin B complex, we took methylcobalamin B12, we took methylcobalamin injections.
Okay.
My husband took glucosamine. We supplemented iron, zinc, magnesium. We tried taking bromelain for our joint pain. Also like algae omega-3. We ate spirulina, chia seeds, hemp seeds, vitamin mineral green. I remember I would just mix vitamin mineral green in water and give it to my daughter to drink. And we took iodine, and we ate a lot of nutritional yeast, because B12.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, our fridge was so full of supplements, like it was ridiculous. And I think looking at that in our fridge, like, was another wake-up call. Like, how the hell are we taking all these supplements? Like, we've always been relatively healthy all our lives, so we went vegan because we thought it was the optimal health. Like, we want to be thriving and glowing, and it didn't work.
What do you think about supplements now? Do you think that they are healthy, or is it just a business, or what?
I definitely think that it's a business, because I feel like supplements are not in nature. So, like, what my husband always used to say, like, because vegans say like they're living like Adam and Eve, or like they eat their natural diet of fruits and veggies. But my husband would always say this, even when he was vegan, he would say, "There's no blenders in nature. Like, we're drinking these huge smoothies." Like, it was like kind of like he always thought that, and I would always just brush it off, like, "Oh well, we live in 2015, of course."
Yeah. What was it that made you quit then in the end? Was it just a combination of a lot of health issues and all of that?
I mean, I think it was seeing the damage on my daughter's teeth that was like the biggest like wake up call for me, because I felt like when I was reaching out to other vegan moms and asking them about their children's teeth, that was a really common issue, and some don't admit it, that their kids have bad teeth. Like they would never like think that it was the vegan diet, but it was very common in vegan kids to have tooth decay. So that was like my major wake up call. Also, I just felt guilty that I like got my husband to be vegan, and he literally like almost died. So I was like, I'll do anything to be healthy, and also I think because I was so like ashamed to eat animals again or animal products, that feeling like made me hate being vegan. I don't know if that makes sense, but it almost made me like embarrassed that I was vegan, because I don't know. I just felt like there were so many rules, and just like you have to live up to a certain, like, I don't know. I don't know how to express it, but like even like on Instagram, say like if I have a friend who's not vegan and they're posting a picture of them eating like In-N-Out or like a burger, like I felt like I couldn't like the picture because like what would the vegan say? And I felt like that's so fucked up, you know? Like I don't want to live like that. Like where I'm being judged by like every single move, you know, and criticized, and I just thought I don't want to be a part of it. I was so grossed out. I was like, just give me the eggs. I don't want to be vegan. Give me the eggs. Like, so that was what kind of like changed my mind too.
And were
Not
you
one.
vegan for 4 years then altogether? Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
all together 4 years.
Did you have vegan friends? Probably, yeah. And
I
if
had
so,
a vegan friend.
yeah, are they still vegan? And if they are, how do they treat you now, or how's the relationship?
Um, well, I would say that I don't talk to them anymore because it's like I know that I can't be myself
Yeah.
around them, and they're always trying to like talk about veganism and how much they love it, and it's always like a topic, you know, like you can't go anywhere without talking about veganism. And so I kind of like, maybe I just don't feel like I connect with them. But when I came out that I wasn't vegan on Instagram, like they unfollowed me
Okay.
because they said that I was bashing the movement, and which I'm okay with. But yeah, I had tons of vegan friends, and I don't really talk to them now.
Okay. Is there anything you want to say to them, or if they're watching, or any vegans in general, just a message, something important?
Yeah, I just think it's important not to, you know, I think it's important not to, you know, I don't know, I'm having a hard time like coming up with words, but basically they promote veganism for everyone, you know, and they portray their lives as like so perfect and glorified, and it is enticing to like say like the regular mom who like wants the best for her family, and they see these glowing happy people on Instagram, and then so they're like, of course, like they want to go vegan. But I think it's important to share that not everybody, well, I think nobody can thrive on a vegan diet, but I mean, I know there's people, I know friends have been vegan for like 20 years, and they think that they're doing fine, but
Right.
I don't think they are. It's just like a facade, you know, it's like a show, a business.
Hmm.
So of course, like they would never admit that veganism couldn't work for everybody, because then it like goes against their business.
Yeah. What do you think veganism is about? Where does it come from, and where is it heading?
Well, I never really thought veganism was pushed on us. Like I thought it was like not pushed on us, because if you see like regular mainstream TV, like they don't talk, like they always show vegans like on TV as like weirdos. But on social media, it's a different audience. So I think, you know, they're reaching for the younger generation, and it's growing. Like I know it's growing, but I know like I never really thought it was pushed by like the government until I heard you say that, and then I was like, well, yeah, that like totally makes sense, because if they didn't want veganism to spread, it would be shut down. Like they wouldn't have like vegan fast food chains. Like I live in San Diego, there's 3 fast food vegan restaurants. Like it's growing,
Yeah.
maybe more than that. But I definitely think there's an agenda to make us, you know, think that it's healthy, and then, you know, make us sick.
Any other health issues you maybe forgot to mention, or is that about it?
Well, I made a list of all
Hmm.
of our, is like as a family combined. So brain fog was big for my husband. Memory, like I remember like sometimes I had a hard time forming sentences, like probably still am like that now, but I get nervous.
Mm.
Um, Fatigue, we had really bad joint pain, my neck problems, my daughter's tooth decay. My gums always bled when I would brush my teeth, which they don't bleed anymore after I started eating animal products. My oldest daughter was always getting sick. Like she even like one time had a cough that lasted like 2 months, and just always little bugs she would get. And now she hasn't been sick in a year, so. Really bad gas pain and bloating. I remember like I would go to bed at night and I would always have gas pain on my right side, like really bad gas pain, and I never had that before. I also developed these blisters in the middle of my fingers, like right here, and they were super itchy. Like they just looked like little clear blisters, and they would last for like a couple of days and then go away, and then maybe like a couple weeks later they would come back. I don't know what that was from. The naturopath doctor said that she thought it could be like a form of celiac, like I forget what it's called. Like it was like a cousin of celiac, which is like affects the skin. The mouth sores, dry skin, cracked lips. I always had dry lips when I was vegan. We had really bad headaches quite often. Like I remember I had a headache that lasted like 4 days. One time I couldn't get out of bed. We never slept through the night. I like not really good sleep patterns. My husband had really low testosterone when he got his blood work done, and also we didn't really have a like high sex drive, and I had like vaginal dryness. Like that was like a big thing. And all throughout my veganism, I had like really bad anxiety and paranoia. I was so paranoid about every little thing, like just like a sound or like the girls would cough, and I'm like, oh God, they're getting sick. Or like I would go to the laundry room and I'd think like someone's gonna come get me. Like I had like the worst paranoia. It was super weird. I'm not like that anymore. I just like went away. I blamed smoking weed though. I thought, I just smoked too much weed. So I stopped smoking weed. But now I smoke weed sometimes and I still don't have it. So I definitely think it was, because it's all during the time I was vegan that it was such bad anxiety. But that's pretty much all the issue.
So would you say that veganism was a mistake, or is it just a lesson in your life, or what?
I don't regret it because I did learn, I learned a lot about, I think it's just part of my journey,
Sure.
I don't know where I would be if I didn't experience that. So I don't regret it, but I do regret it because it fucked us up. I wish I just would have done more research in an opposing view of veganism. I just trusted it so blindly. I just I took everything in like it was that was the Bible, whatever these doctors said, like Dr. Greger and T. Colin Campbell or whatever his name is, I just took it in as that was it. I never thought to go look elsewhere, and I wish that I would have done more research. I didn't really know a lot about nutrition when I went vegan. So I think that was maybe I should have done more research. That's what I regret.
What do you guys eat now?
Well, mostly we try not to eat breads and grains, and we've really cut down on fruits and veggies. So I'm eating eggs and meat. We try to buy good quality meat that I can find here in San Diego. I buy raw milk and butter. Ever since I started listening to you, I'm just trying to try it. I'm not trying to get all my trust put into what you say, because I feel like I feel like I did that before, and
Sure.
like I have a hard time like trusting anything. But I actually really like how we feel. My husband says after he drinks raw milk, he feels like he could go run a marathon. Like he loves it. I basically, like, we cut out any breads, gluten. We're not eating like nearly as much rice and beans and starchy foods. Veggies, the only veggies that we really eat are like cooked broccoli. Um, and my daughters like bell peppers and cucumbers. And then fruits, sometimes we have like watermelon, which I'll just make like watermelon juice usually. But I'm still learning. I kind of feel lost. But I went out to sushi the other day and I got beef tartare, and I never ever would have thought to try it, and I actually really liked it.
Nice.
Yeah. And then when I do cook meat, I always like eat a little bit of it raw to like try to like get used to the idea and the taste, and it's not bad. I am pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add?
I don't think so.
No? Yeah. Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad I got to talk to you and share our story.
Yeah.
One thing I do actually want to say is that if you have kids and you're feeding them a vegan diet, oh, there's sirens. I don't know if you can hear.
Yeah, I can hear it. It's fine.
So my only message is to parents, like, if you're feeding your kids a vegan diet, like, just, do some research and make sure that you're checking their teeth and their eyes, and it's so important for the kids. It just breaks my heart that they just, they say that their kids are choosing to be vegan. I brainwashed my kids. I bought all the vegan kid books. I had all of them. I never showed them like the documentaries, but I know parents who do show their kids Cowspiracy. Of course, the kids are going to say that they don't want to eat animals. Like, when they're scared to death looking at an animal being slaughtered. But then to say, like, oh, they chose a lifestyle, like, no, that's a lie.
They should at least give them the choice to eat meat and see if they want it.
Yeah, so like they say, if you were to put a baby in a crib with an apple and a bunny, that baby's gonna eat the apple. Like, well, maybe they should put some freaking beef tartare and see what the baby would eat. Yeah, so they like to twist it around and make it seem like so glamorous, and I'm just thankful I'm not there.
Yeah, congratulations to you and your family.
Thanks. Yeah. Thank you too for like making these videos and helping people realize, like, I think once you hear ex-vegans speak up about the like illnesses that they've experienced, like, people start thinking like, oh yeah, like I have that, or like,
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm experiencing that too. Like, maybe I'm not feeling as good as I think I am. So it's important, and so thank you so much.